Mike's wife got in touch with me and said, can you have a chat with my husband about this obsession he's got with my past? Because when he gets something stuck in his mind, he just won't leave it alone. But it's all in the past. I slept with a few different men, and it was years ago, and I'm this close to moving out if he doesn't drop it. A week later, and Mike is sitting in my therapy room. I know, it's me, he says, but I don't think there's any therapy for this. Why is that then, I say? Because I do latch onto things, I always have. Maybe it's perfectionism. I need things in my life to feel right, to be right. My wife's past doesn't feel right, and I know I can't change it. And then I could see his eyes soften a bit, and he paused. I don't know. I reckon we'll need to separate, he said. How long have you two been together? 8 years, he said. So this hasn't felt right for 8 years. Well, it's got worse. I always knew about her past and about those men, but it didn't quite used to bother me so much. But now I can't gloss over it. Her past offends me. He looks up at me. You must have seen this before, this perfectionism or whatever it is. My wife says I've got OCD about her past. Whatever this is, I can't change how my mind works. I've tried. Bit of a therapy challenge there. Now, people with retroactive jealousy are most definitely thinkers, problem solvers, a sticky mind it's sometimes called. We might be hot on detail and we feel compelled to figure things out, to seek the answer deep down the rabbit hole. Now, if you recognise any of these perfectionist tendencies in yourself, well, that can be a helpful insight to have. But what do you do with it in terms of overcoming retroactive jealousy? Is it a case of, right, you need to work on this aspect of yourself and stop being so perfectionist? Or is it acknowledge that you have this tendency, but stop applying it to your relationship, your partner's past? Good luck with that. Or, and this is my recommendation, do we recognise this tendency in us, but actually realise that it didn't cause or bring about retroactive jealousy? Perfectionism doesn't cause RJ, or any other kind of obsessive-compulsive issue. Say I'm worried that I've got a serious health problem. I've got this symptom, and the doctor told me it's nothing, but I'm not convinced. So I'm going to Google it, and I'm going to research it, and I'm going to try and get second opinions, and I'm going to think about it a lot. I want to make it right. Maybe I'm a perfectionist too, but is this perfectionism? Or is it a natural response to thinking I might have a serious health problem? Say I'm worried that my car has a fault and it might overheat and explode. I'll get on the case. I'll spend money taking it to the garage, asking questions, getting it tested again and again. I'll be really vigilant when I'm driving the car, as long as I've got this worry. Again, is that perfectionism? Or I'm worried I'm with the wrong partner, in the wrong relationship. Or my partner might not be the person I think they are. Or we have really different values, or I can't reconcile their past. I'm worried. I have a problem. I'll struggle with that. I'll latch onto it. If I really might be ill, or my car is at risk of exploding, or there are signs I'm with the wrong person, these are quite rational responses. So it's a matter of, how do I arrive at these worries? Is there real evidence in the here and now? Or is it more based on a feeling, a story, an interpretation of the past, or an imagined future? It'll look like perfectionism and overthinking, whether I have those traits or not. I'm ticking the boxes because of my perceived urgent problem, and I'm applying all that thinking and worrying towards it. So actually, retroactive jealousy and overcoming retroactive jealousy isn't really anything to do with perfectionism. It's in the mix, perhaps, but it's not the cause. It's not the problem. Say Mike is a perfectionist. He sounds like he is, especially at work. But his wife's sexual past didn't bother him quite so much for a long time. What changed? Did his perfectionism suddenly notice it and get hold of it? No. He arrived at having a retroactive jealousy problem through a different kind of reasoning. One way or another, through exposure work or cognitive therapy or a bit of both, we want to see the irrelevance of such thoughts to our actual here and now and our actual relationship. And maybe to dismantle this belief that we have a serious health issue or our car might explode or we're with the wrong partner. or whatever else the retroactive jealousy is telling us. Not by arguing with it, disputing it, proving how unlikely it is, that will not work, but by understanding the reasoning process that led us to this worry and led us to get all perfectionistic and obsessed with it. That's the goal in retroactive jealousy therapy and self-help. You might be an overthinker, a creative imaginer, a perfectionist. We see a lot of that going on with retroactive jealousy, but it's not the cause. It's a doubt that's technically possible, because these doubts always are, and it's taken root emotionally. And we can do something about that. And that's what we did with Mike. I was careful not to fight with his retroactive jealousy thoughts. Not to say, oh, Mike, it was years ago, or Mike, she's done nothing wrong, because I've learnt those lessons. But to help Mike shine a light on how he reasoned his way into having a problem, a tendency we can all have. And we did a bit of exposure work on this too, and we got there. Mike's wife's past matters much less. True story, though names and details have been changed. I hope this has been insightful, and thank you for watching.